I am going to start project 1. I'm doing this tin that I've had in my inventory for a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm painting it with DIY's Hey Sailor, which is a clay-based paint. So I'm going to go ahead and give it one coat, and I'm going to let it dry completely before I apply the second coat. So once I get this all painted, I will come back and we'll move on to the next step. All right, so now that the top and the bottom are both thoroughly dry, I am going to use the stencil, and I got these off of Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description in case you would like to get them also. And I'm just going to use, this is like, it's an off-white, I believe it's called Plaster. It's a Waverly paint. And I'm just going to load up my brush, and then I offload it onto this napkin. You don't want too much on your brush because then that's when it seeps through, or kind of through the bottom, and you don't get a crisp image. So I just kind of offload it, and then I do just kind of a circular motion until I have it all done. And I think this turned out really great, and there it is. So after I got this done and I put the lid on, and I really did not like this, the blue on blue, and it needed some red. So I decided to paint the bottom red, and I'm using this, it's a DIY paint, and I believe the color was Marquee. So I'm just going to go ahead and I do give this 2 coats just to get it all covered. And I just think the red looks a lot better than with the blue lid in Hey Sailor. So then you have the red, white, and blue for your Americana decor. So now I have it all painted and everything is dry. So I'm just going to go ahead and I am using Big Top. I am going to seal the bottom and then I'm going to seal the top and let that dry thoroughly. And then once everything is completely dry, I do just wrap some jute around and just tie it off just to kind of add a little more interest and a little more character to this. So let me finish this up and then I'll show you the final project. So here I have this little hen that I believe I bought this off of Whatnot. I thought it was cute, but then after I got it, I thought, I think it just needs a little updating. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint the entire thing. And this is crinoline. It's, again, a DIY clay-based paint. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to give this 2 full coats, letting it dry completely in between coats. If you paint it too soon, when it's not completely dry, that first layer or that first coat will start to lift up. So let me go ahead and get this all painted. So again, my initial idea was I was going to paint it and then I was going to do a coat of dark wax. And I wasn't happy with how it was turning out. So I grabbed my Farm Fresh from DIY and I'm going to give it 2 coats of Farm Fresh. So I'm just going to get this all painted. And I'm using my heat gun there to dry in between coats. And I can leave a link to my heat gun in the description also if you're in the market for one. I really like this one. It works really good and I've had it for a long time. So here I am going to do some white wax. So normally I would do clear wax first, but I decided not to this time. I just kind of decided just to go with the white wax. So the white wax is also from DIY. So I'm just going to go ahead and I have my brush. And I always like to use something to hold it. I just don't want to get a bunch of fingerprints in it. So I just go over the whole entire thing with the white wax. And then I take another clean, I'm just using napkins here, but then I just go and I wipe back any excess, and I love the look it gives. What do you think? I'm really glad I went with this color, the Farm Fresh, instead of just a white with a dark wax. let me show you the final project. And for project number 3, I'm going to do this little wood riser. I had gotten this off of Whatnot also. I love getting these. I love redoing these little risers. They're really fun. And I'm going to use a paint inlay on this one. But I'm just painting this one with Farm Fresh. I do 2 coats. Again, you want to make sure you let it dry completely in between coats. So, and I do have an announcement that I will be doing probably maybe either this week or next week. I'm really excited. I'm adding something to my business, so I'm really excited to tell you what it is. So make sure you come back for that. Like I said, it'll either be maybe in a video later this week, or I will do it next week. So make sure you have the notification button on so you don't miss the announcement. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this first coat, let it dry, do the second coat, and then we will do the paint inlay. So I found the inlay, the little piece that I wanted to use. So I just kind of cut it out, cut the section out that I wanted. And now I'm just trying to kind of position it just to kind of see where I want it. And then you do have to apply it to wet paint. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a layer of the Farm Fresh on here, just to make sure it's wet and I have enough on. And then I did spritz the other side of this with water with my mister bottle. And I just apply it where I wanted it, and then I am going to spritz it again. And then I just take my napkin and I'm just kind of dabbing all over just to get any excess water off, and then just kind of rubbing that in to get that embedded into the wet paint. I'm really excited to see how this looks. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this, and then we are going to let it dry completely, and then I'll come back and peel it off. All right, I got it all dry. So we are going to mist it with a water mister, and I just dabbed off the excess water, and we're going to peel it off. I love it. It looks fabulous. What do you think? So I love this. So the next step is we're going to go ahead and we are going to seal the entire piece with Big Top. You do, when you seal where the inlay was, you want to load up your brush and you want to go over it really lightly, because that is paint and it will smear. So like I said, just make sure you go over it super light. And I just think this little riser turned out amazing. So here you see me, I just loaded up my brush with a sealer, and I'm just kind of, once I get to the inlay, I just do a really light coat over top of it because I don't want that to smear. And once everything is completely dry, and I could have distressed this before and I kind of forgot, and then once it was all done, I decided I wanted it distressed. So I'm just going to go over the whole entire thing. I believe this is I think it's like 120 grit is what I used. And I just go over all the edges and just give it a light sanding. And this project is complete. Stay tuned for the final reveal. Guys, today, which one was your favorite? Mine was the little riser, I believe. I think they all turned out great, but I really like that riser. I love using the paint inlays. I'm trying to use them more and more. So let me know what your favorite was in the comments, and I will leave links in the description of some of the products that I used. And remember, I'll be doing a special announcement later this week or maybe the first of next week. So make sure you stay tuned. Hit the notification button and subscribe if you haven't. I will talk to you next time. Bye, guys.